Okay, we're good. We're good. We are having some technical difficulties with Mitch Biggar, who was in Perth Andover. He was just on here a few moments ago. We don't have a video feed for him, but we do have audio. He's just rebooting everything on his end. So we are hoping to have some video and audio with Mitch Biggar in Perth Andover in just a couple of moments. In the meantime, my name is Matthew. This is MattTv. So much going on today, not just here in the province of Nova Scotia, where we are cleaning out from a major snowstorm here yesterday. I walked into the city today. I will say that I'm quite impressed with the major roads are kept relatively clear and ice free. The sidewalks, the sidewalks, not so much. It is treacherous. There are some parts. Now we did get some rain and it froze over, and I know they do their best. But there are sections of Halifax downtown where you just cannot maneuver anywhere, especially if you are, if you're in a wheelchair, there's no way you're getting around the streets of Halifax. So, which is kind of sad. So there's only so many bodies. There's only so much people can do. But the snow is going to be here for the next little while. It's only -5, a mix of sun and cloud today. Sunshine -18 with the wind chill in Perth Andover. And again, we are just waiting for Mitch Biggar. I can't break the broadcast. He is aware. He has the link. We are on StreamYard, which is a service that is free. I've used it before. It just allows me to bring people into the broadcast. I think I can bring up to maybe 4 additional people here. So if we do have technical difficulties with Mitch Biggar, it's not the end of the world. We can certainly reschedule that. But there are a few things, actually not a few things. We all know what's happening in Canada today. We know what's going on in the nation's capital. We'll just see how things unfold. I don't have a crystal ball in front of me. Neither does anyone else. We don't know how this is all going to play out. So we just kind of wait and see. It is a wait and see. Okay, I don't know if Mitch Biggar is going to be able to get in here, but if that is the case, I just want to go to his own Facebook page. And the reason I wanted to bring Mitch in here today, because I love to use this platform to lift other people up into a spotlight. Oh, here he is. Okay, I'm hearing a ping. I can see. I'm going to bring Mitch in right now. Now, I don't know if we're going to. Mitch, are you
Hello, can
there?
you hear me?
I can hear you fine, Mitch. How
There we
are you?
go. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. I was stalling as long as I could. So I was just telling people that we had some technical difficulties. You're here now. There won't be
Yep.
any. There won't be a camera feed, but we do have the audio, so that's great. How are you, Mitch?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I'm well. We just talked. We were kind of playing around behind the scenes before we got going here. The weather in Perth Andover today is quite nice. Yes,
It is. It's sunny now after a big blizzard and about -9 right now, I think. Yeah.
-9. How much snow do you think fell in your area?
It's hard to tell. We had quite a bit of wind. I'd say we probably got between 6 and 8 inches, and where it drifted bad, I know some drifts here about 6 feet in places. So
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that was a big system. That was a big system.
yeah, it was a good one.
Uh, I kind of like to keep my shows within the 20-minute range. So let's get right to it. So, what
Sure.
I've done, Mitch, what I've done is I've just gone through your Facebook page, and I was just telling people before you joined, I use MattTv as a platform to have other people come on the broadcast and talk about what's going on in their life. You certainly have made use of all kinds of social media platforms. People should know that you are the station manager of The Bridge. You're the owner, founder of the River Valley Art Ventures and Events, and a new podcast host and educator at A Bigger View. Let's start with that. In particular, I love how you use the word a podcast host and educator. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. Why that word in particular, Mitch?
Sure. Well, we try to educate listeners and people that view our broadcast. Sometimes we do some live stuff too, kind of about everything really. So my whole goal is to improve community through the connection of arts, culture, and community. So that's always been my thing. So I'm a firm believer that music in particular, and I appreciate all the arts, but music in particular is the bridge, no pun intended, between connecting all people, regardless of economic or social standpoint. So music is the universal language. So I think by having different musical guests on and different people within the community, that we're educating everyone within every realm about potential things we could do to improve our community.
What were your musical influences growing up?
Musical influences growing up? Oh,
Yeah.
that's wow. Look, I listened to growing up. Wow. You know what? Growing up, I probably listened to a lot of really old Johnny Cash when I was young, Conway Twitty, that type of thing. In high school, it was, some British punk rock stuff. It was the hip, the Stones, things like that. I'm all over the place really for music. The hip has certainly been very influential in my life. When I worked for CBC, I got a chance to tour around with them for a bit. So that was kind of fun. So, I mean, those kind of guys are my major influences.
Okay. The artists that you are bringing in now to showcase at the pub, what has been their feedback to you? You're giving them a platform to express themselves. What kind of a relationship do you have with your musicians that you're bringing in?
Yeah, I would say, very good. I would say primarily most of the artists we bring in are more kind of folk pop or folk alternative or even a little folk country based. But there are not a lot of venues left anymore, especially since COVID, has shut down about 62% of all the live venues in North America. So we're in that unique position in Perth Andover that we're kind of the place between Montreal and Halifax, or Montreal and Fredericton, wherever. So we get a lot of people traveling through, and we just kick the doors open and say, let's do a show. And we record all the shows live on the Oak Tree stage, and we rebroadcast them the next week. If they have any new music or they want me to pitch tours that they're on, they just shoot me an email, and I try to get that stuff on the bridge and cover that stuff for them as well. So I think it's been a very good working relationship with all the artists that we deal with.
And judging by what you just said, I can expect that the musicians will never stop showing up at your place.
Yeah, hopefully not. We're doing all we can to keep the music alive, as we say. So I probably work about anywhere between 1 and 3 hours a day, just email and Facebook chats with artists that are coming through, or they're planning tours, or I'm coming through. Could you get me here, here, and here? And so we work with 2 or 3 other booking agents in the Maritimes and say, okay, so Perth Andover on Friday, Fredericton on Saturday, Halifax on Wednesday. So it's quite a good working group of other venues that are still left that we work with. Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that. That's impressive. That's really awesome, Mitch. I did not know that. Cool.
Yeah.
You just celebrated, the bridge just celebrated some milestones within the last 48 hours. Can you tell us about that? Just in particular, the bridge milestones. I'll let you.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal any of your thunder.
No. So it's been a crazy ride. So we launched the bridge November 1st, over a year ago. So it's been 14 months. So we just hit on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. is our big milestone. So we hit 10,000 consecutive hours of broadcasting. So which is a milestone for us, for being right now a one-man show due to COVID, because I can't get anybody else in the studio. So yeah, and we've been heard now in 72 countries worldwide, and 40,000 unique listeners a month. We just broke all in the same month. So it's kind of been it's really, I love logging in the morning and see what countries have listened the previous day. I just love looking at those flags.
Mm-hmm. Is there an opportunity for people that are listening from different parts of the world to send you feedback through a Facebook page, or do you have anything set up like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can go on our Facebook page, which is just Bridge Radio PA. We also have Twitter, which is the same thing as well, Bridge Radio PA. And on our Twitter account, every 5 minutes, it's actually auto set up from our radio server to tweet the artist that's playing at the current time. So we just started doing that about a month ago, and I've had a lot of artists go, oh, wow. and they've tagged me back, and they've started following me, and then they're telling their fans, you can listen to us on this station online. So I think that will drive our listenership up more. We do have a website, which is just www.bridgeradiopa.com as well. There is a feedback link there as well as a listen live link. And then our email and our phone numbers there as well. So we 24/7 voicemail. So if you leave a voicemail, it comes right direct to my phone via email and a WAV file, so I can listen to it right on my phone. So we're pretty techy.
That's just amazing. Excellent
Yeah.
stuff. You are, without a doubt, you are a man of the community. And I just want to quickly talk about some of the donations that you have made. So just give me an opportunity to, let's just kind of break it down. So the
Sure.
first donation that I'm aware of, you have donated a lot of recording equipment to local musicians, instruments to community youth, $30,000 in free advertisements for New Brunswick businesses, and you've invested $28,000 in bringing music to Perth Andover.
Yeah.
Well done,
Sure.
Mitch.
So I'll start with our donations to local musicians. So part of my overall vision for the bridge is to spin off this whole other subset economic culture around us, right? So we've got all these local musicians that, great talent. They've got some audio skills, great playing skills, great vocal skills. Give them a little bit of guidance about how we can do some home-based studio production, right? So we purchased a bunch of different digital audio interfaces, and then like USB that you can plug a direct microphone into, or a guitar, and it plugs into your computer via USB and it records. So we bought some of those and we've donated those to local artists. When we upgrade our gear in studio, so we have a production studio at the Oak Tree in the back room, and then we have, my home studio as well here at the house. So whenever we upgrade, we take that equipment, we post it online, and we say, hey, your bridge is upgraded. This is the following gear up for grab. Who wants it locally, right? So different musicians will ping us and they'll say, we're doing this. Could we grab this? So we had an old 8-track digital recorder that we were using. It's got a hard drive in it. You record directly to it. And then you can pull stuff off it. So we donated that. Whenever we do microphone upgrades, we were like, hey, we've got some of these old Shure, SM57s you could beat a nail in with, those old boys, I'm sure you know. So we donated those back to the community. Whenever we upgrade, we always donate that that gear, back to community artists. That's a major thing. So it helps them, be self-sufficient, have little home studios, get their stuff on the air, get it produced, good to go. The business ads one was kind of an idea I woke up with in the middle of the night during COVID. And I said, what can we do post-pandemic? And I keep saying that word. Hopefully we'll see finally the end of this pandemic, post-pandemic recovery. So we've got a lot of businesses that have been forced during lockdowns and shutdowns. They couldn't be open, or they're open at 50% capacity. Feel their pain. We've probably lost $100,000 in ticket revenue for live shows in the last year and a half as well, right? So I said, what can we do? They probably don't have any money to advertise with right now. We're in a position where our overhead costs are quite low, especially businesses that are tourism based, or restaurant based, or they sell their goods online. So, hello, we have 72 countries and 40,000 people listening online. Let me help you, give you some free advertising, and we'll do a professional commercial production for you, and we'll play that on the bridge for the next, month, 45 days, to try to boost your recovery, getting back into business, right? So that's where that came from. And then I just want
to say, sorry, and anyone who knows anything about radio advertising, a 30-second spot once a day for 45 days would cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I can't stress enough the good thing that you were doing, Mitch. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, and I'm just going to say the other thing that really was my main goal, and I'm personally proud of, is we've been able to, purchase some new instruments, refurb some old instruments. For example, we redid a whole drum kit. We purchased some new ukuleles. We've refurbished some old guitars, some old smaller amps, and we bring those instruments in and we refurb them and we give them back to youth in the community, and saying, here, please take these, learn music, or just fiddle with it, or do whatever So we're trying to give an opportunity to people in the community that may not have an opportunity to learn music or know anything about music, the opportunity to experience music firsthand.
Excellent. Now, these youth, do they come to you, or are you working with a youth organization where you're made aware of, hey, so and so would like this?
Yeah, sometimes it's well, not necessarily an organization, but we have a few people around town that actually hold private music classes, and they're like,
Okay.
Johnny B's teaching drums with me, but he doesn't have a drum set at home, right? So, if you ever get a drum set, he'd be a good person to give a drum kit to, right? So
Okay.
they let us know. Other times, we've had a workshop where we went out and bought these kits, and it was a build your own ukulele kit. So we'll hold this workshop at the private room at the Oak Tree, and we'll invite kids in, and the first 12 people sign up. They get in, and then they get to build the uke, and we have an instructor there that teaches them how to put it together, tune it, put the strings on it, etc. So we do those kind of workshops as well.
Okay, excellent. Just in closing here, we got like 4 minutes left. I just want to
Yeah.
quickly ask you about you're bringing back in the month of February, you will have live music and trivia nights. And so talk about that, and then also touch on your Zoom drinks. How's that working out for you?
Yeah. So we just got out of another 2-week lockdown here in New Brunswick. So, for me, lockdowns are one of my lowest mental health points, and I'm not afraid to talk about mental health. I'm a very social, outgoing person. A lot of my meetings are held with a pint or a cup of coffee in hand at the pub, and that's just how I am. So, I was feeling the blues during the lockdown, so I started hosting, random. It's 8 o'clock. Let's all meet on Zoom. Here's a link. Bring a cup of coffee, bring a pint. We'll just chat. Anyway, some nights we had one person show up or two. Some nights we had 10. Um, and from all over, like friends I haven't seen since high school or university just popped on, and other people. So that's been great. So we started doing that. I think it was kind of cool. And for February, we just firmed up. We've got all of February booked now. We'll have live music at least every Friday and Saturday at the pub. Trivia nights for the third Thursday of the month. So we're bringing those back, and we're also going to be starting up a new open mic night, which is going to be hosted by a local artist, Dave Denning.
Okay, okay. That's just amazing stuff. One final thing, Mitch.
Sure.
I want people to know a little bit more about you. That's why I bring people on here. You just recently participated on another podcast called the Community Revival Podcast.
Yeah.
What will people? What other little tidbits of information will people learn about you that they didn't learn about you in this 15 minutes?
Sure. Community Podcast is hosted by a former retired member of the Alberta legislature called Doug Griffins. He has a consulting company now called 13 Ways. He wrote a book called 13 Ways to Kill Your Community. I've read it 5 times in the last 4 months. It's a great book. Now it's available in an audiobook. And it's basically his consulting company works with municipalities all over the world about things they can do to revitalize their communities. So whether it's through tourism, economic development, whatever. This guy cannot talk enough about. I think he's just a genius, and he's got some great ideas. He talks about the NIMBYs, so not in my backyard, the Nopes, not on planet Earth, all kinds of good things. So he kind of did a background on me, and and he talks about that. So some things people may not know, for the last 30 years, I've worked in and out of journalism all over the world, really. So I had a chance to work for CBC. I worked for Rogers Radio. I've been everything from a beat reporter to an entertainment reporter to a political reporter to a bureau chief to a senior political reporter and everything in between. I've been in war zones. I've been shot at. I've had a mask put over my face and been taken to a meeting with the IRA. All kinds of good stuff. And so, and I've had the ability to open, close, sell off different businesses over the years. I've been a member of many different nonprofits throughout the province. I was the head of the provincial library board for a few years. People probably wouldn't know that. Adult literacy was a big one of my activism things for a while. I've been a past member of, VP and president of the Chamber of Commerce, things like that. Most things I don't talk about. So we talked a little bit about my often skewed and various resume, I guess.
That was, got to say, that's one of the most revealing 20 minutes that I've ever had on my show. Most of the stuff, honestly, Mitch, most of the stuff that you just said in this interview, I had no idea about you. And I learned a little bit about some of your posts this weekend. But the journalism stuff, I didn't know the extent of it. So just wow, I just have that much more respect for you. So excellent. That's all I can say, Mitch.
No, good. Well, look, you know, I appreciate what you're doing here too. I think, you know, it's a great thing what you're doing, having these 20-minute segments. You know, Matt TV, I think it's a great thing. Keep it up. And look, we hope to see, we hope to hear more of your voice on the bridge soon. I hope.
Yes, we'll definitely, yeah, we'll talk privately about that. But I
Yeah.
would love that as well, Mitch.
Awesome.
Okay, Mitch. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. So we'll just remove him from the stream. That was Mitch Biggar, Perth Andover. That was amazing. I was going to ask him, but if I had, because we closed everything off, everything ended nicely, and I almost did the instinctive Grant thing by asking him one other thing, which would have extended the conversation. So maybe Mitch can leave a comment. I was going to ask you your prediction, and I don't even know if you're following football. You may follow football as much as I do, but your prediction for today's football games. I think at the end of the day, the two teams that will be playing for the Super Bowl will be the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. Chiefs, Rams in the Super Bowl 2 weeks from today. That's my prediction right here on a Sunday, 3:22. That's going to do it for me. My name is Matthew. Thanks, Mitch. My name is Matthew. This is MattTv. Now and always from sea to sea.